Once in a while, you get an idea for a character who is so dark they scare you just a little. You wonder where this idea has come from, and what does it mean? How are you as an author capable of creating such dark and despicable characters, capable of malevolence and evil? Does that say something about you, or does it hint at some inner darkness you're hiding? Does it mean you are just like your characters? I once got asked this question by a person who I know to be extremely religious. She approached me and asked what my books were about. I got the impression she was expecting a religious slant, but her face dropped considerably when I told her I wrote fantasy, with tales of faraway kingdoms, raging monsters, and of course, magic. Not light and fanciful magic, but extremely dark and foreboding. She leaned backwards and, with a look I recognized as disgust, she choked out, "You must be like your characters. You must be just like them." And then she stopped talking to me. It was an oddly peaceful moment, kind of like I had a magical talisman to ward away evil beings. I should add at this point that we were on a plane and sitting right beside each other. And she'd openly spoken to me in the hopes of converting me to Christianity. It was funny then, and it is still funny now. I noticed her wince when I pulled out my huge journal filled with all my demonic and evil writing, and continued to write. Although the entire incident was certainly curious and hilarious, it left me wondering about the characters that we as authors create. It got me thinking, how much of the author is in the characters, especially the darker and evil ones? When we get a character to massacre an entire village because of his trauma, is that really him? Or is it us? When I speak about child sacrifice in my Heathens fantasy, who is really speaking here? Does the act of writing allow us to release our darker side, the one we keep hidden from all of society, in our ploy to appear normal and happy, and blend in just like everyone else? I do know that when I sometimes write my characters, I get a thrill. When I wrote a few dark scenes in my Dwellers Beneath the Arches series, if you've ever read the series, there are more than a few dark moments in there. One even takes place in a church, right by the altar. As children, we are told that some of us are born evil, never really standing a chance from the beginning, because the odds are heavily stacked against us. And evil thoughts bring evil intentions. Aren't the words we write sometimes evil? Wouldn't they put us on some watch list somewhere? I mean, if people could look into my head and see most of what I write, or think to write about, I do believe I would be sectioned. So where does it end? Where does the villainy end? Where does the villainy we write about as authors stop and the normalcy begin? Or does it ever really stop? It's strange, really, the way the villains come to life in my mind. It's almost like they have always been there, lurking in the shadows of my thoughts, waiting for that moment when I want something evil to come forth. Sometimes these villains scare me, these characters I create. They slip so easily through the cracks of my consciousness and appear on the pages before me, as though perfectly normal. I wonder where they come from. Are they some hidden reflection of myself? Or worse, a part of me that is yet to reveal herself? I have to stop and remind myself, rather often, that no, they are not some hidden part of me that is lurking in the shadows. I create them, yes. I give them their darkness, their twisted motives. I let them speak, unleash havoc, breathe. They live vicariously through me, and I let them do the things I would never dare. But when I put the pen down, they stay where they belong, on the page. They are separate from me, a manifestation of ideas, not some mirror of my soul. It's tempting sometimes to think otherwise. After all, these are indeed my thoughts, my words. But no, it's a dance. It's all a performance. I write them to explore, not to become them. I don't share their cruelty or their hunger for power. Sometimes I do, but not really. And all that malice, all that hatred, it's all fictional. How about the lines I cross with them? They definitely don't follow me once a story ends. Once a story ends, it's all over. I can make them as evil as I want, and I will, but the line is always there, clear and unwavering. They are my creation, not my reflection. It's their story, not mine. I remain in control, even when they are at worst. The truth is, I separate myself from them because I have to. If I didn't, well, I wouldn't just be writing villains anymore. I'd be inviting them in. I'd be writing a true life drama. And I guess that's something I'll never do. I guess.